Hello everybody. If you are new to my channel but you've watched one other video of mine, it's probably the one about teaching yourself a language in 15 minutes a day using 15-minute time chunks as a building block to get started building a language studying habit. Obviously you need to increase your time as you get more advanced and do more, but the 15-minute principle is something that I've talked about in many ways, in many different times and places and videos and the like. And just as something that I've applied in my own life, my language learning life, for years now, as a real building block to get started and build a habit. And to me, it's been an enigma why, since the day I posted that video, per se, or whenever I talk about this, there are people that almost willfully want to misinterpret what I say and think that I'm saying, oh, just studying 15 minutes a day any old way and you'll be fluent in no time. That's never been my message. I just find that good advice like that, to take something in small chunks, a small enough chunk that is something that you can actually do something and get started in building a habit and from there build up. That's been one of the best pieces of advice that I've internalized in my own life in many ways. And in particular, that sort of 15-minute principle, I think really is applicable to a lot of other areas too, just life in general. And myself in the past month, I've sort of forgotten to apply that principle, but then started doing it again in various other ways. I had to, live here in northern Minnesota where we were hit by a tornado, and my house was not too badly damaged, but all the trees on my property were knocked down. It was incredible devastation, and there was just so much overwhelming what to do, how to go and start cleaning things up, that it's very easy to do nothing. You don't know where to start. And you think, well, what can I do in 15 minutes? It's so small. But if you get started and you do a little bit, you can see it makes a difference. And from there, you can build up. It's the same with any sort of overwhelming task, which I imagine people who don't have a lot of language learning experience sometimes feel that learning a language is an overwhelming task. And so that's the message there, is that if you break down the task into a chunk that is something that is doable, manageable. You can't do something you haven't done before for hours on end, but you can apply yourself for 15 minutes. And if you apply yourself for 15 minutes in a systematic, intelligent way each and every single day, that basic principle of slow but steady, things adding up, that's just as applicable to language learning as it is to any other aspect of life. So I think that good advice like that is something that we often need to hear many times in many different ways before it sticks and we apply it. Like I said, I forgot myself to use it in cleaning up various messes that have been handed to me and that have been so big, such big, awful projects that I had no idea where to get started, and it was easy to do nothing and sort of get depressed and give up if I did start something. But if you have something like that and you do a little bit each and every day, it adds up. I'm applying that, trying to help other people in language learning by sharing that information. So that's something to keep in mind, I think, at all times, that you don't need to pour hours into something to get started. You need to pour hours into something to master it, but to get started, to build a habit, to make progress at the initial stages. Language learning, I think we all know, it's a steep curve. It's easiest at the beginning when you know nothing to learn something, but when you already know something, to learn more somehow takes longer and harder. There's that famous intermediate slump and curve, and it's just hard to make progress after a certain point, and that does require lots and lots of time and lots of effort. That message, I've always made that message too. Language learning is a lifelong endeavor, but to get started, to build a habit, if you try to do that in too big of a chunk, then you probably won't succeed. But if you try with a manageable chunk, and there's nothing magic about 15 minutes, it's a quarter of an hour. It suits me for my ability to stay focused without trying to force myself to stay focused, my ability to get something done, substantial. The kind of methods that I use, I can learn a new lesson and review a couple of old lessons and work myself through the book that way. So that's something that please think about that. When you hear somebody say, oh, studying in small chunks of language learning, it doesn't need to be done intensively at all times. There's a stage for that. There's a stage when you've built yourself a huge foundation and you want to go stay and live in a language. You need to immerse yourself intensely in it. When you get to be more advanced and you want to read books, you need to sit and read for an hour at a time. But to get started, no. To get started, to build a habit, to do something that you haven't done before and get in the habit of doing it, it really pays to start small and build up. So just wanted to share some reflections on, the 15-minute principle, as I've always used it for language learning and as I've been able to use it in life, and think about how for many people, language learning might appear like this big chaotic mess that you don't know how to begin doing anything with, the way I felt with the trees on my property. But I solved that by going out and picking up branches, just 15 minutes, putting my wheelbarrow each day, stopping, saw how much I made, and it's like, whoa, I'm almost done. Whereas something like that might happen to you if you can build that study habit just a little bit every day, but in a systematic way, really rigorously systematic every day. And in a couple of months, a year, you turn around and you'll have made amazing progress. Remember that. I hope that works for you. Thank you.